Hi, everybody. I wanted to talk today a little bit about what kind of eater are you? And I think that having spoken about journaling yesterday, this becomes a really important topic. So again, I've got some notes here. So if you see my eyes darting, it's just because I'm referring to them. There are about 7 different kinds of eaters that exist, okay? You can be a stress eater, which obviously means that whenever the going gets tough, your face gets in, the bag of chips. The emotional eater is no matter what emotion you feel. Are you happy? Are you sad? And do you celebrate or wallow as food as your vice? The grazer is someone that grazes small meals all day, but might not know how much the calories, or based on what they're eating, how much that eats up into their body and might have some impact on their weight. The unconscious eater is the mindless eater. So many of us are that. That's like you're cooking food for your kids and like 17 bites get in your mouth and you don't even know you've done it before you've sat down for dinner. The feast or famine eater. And I kind of always consider that my husband. He'll starve all day so that he can have a great meal at night, thinking that that's the best thing to do, but that messes with your metabolism in other ways. The frugal eater. This is something a bit that came out of the Depression, which is eat all the food on your plate, no matter how much you have left, no matter if you're full. There's starving people in Africa. You need to finish everything on your plate. I think many of us can relate to either saying these words, thinking these words, or hearing these words from our family. The stealth eater is the hidden eater. It's the one, who's got the Yodels wrappers under their bed, that has food stashed in their drawers, and they're hiding the food that they're eating. The ideal eater is what we're striving for. And the ideal eater is someone who eats when they're hungry, pays attention to the foods that they're eating, makes good food choices, and stops eating when they feel satiated. Now, we talked before about the adrenals. So sometimes some people might not realize that they're satiated if the hormone leptin is kind of overworked in their body and not working properly. Now, the key is ideally in the journaling, or one component of the journaling, is that you're going to try to figure out what kind of eater you are, because paying attention to that makes a big difference in the ways that you are going to manage how to do it. So if you're a stress eater, you obviously need to figure out some coping skills, whether it's meditation, whether it's going for a walk, whether it's changing your environment, maybe it's journaling about what's happened, or something that is going to change your impact. Here's a great example of that. So when my little kids were little, before I really started paying attention to food, if something good happened, we ended up at Wendy's or McDonald's, for the Happy Meal. And I quickly realized that my kids didn't really care for the food. I was uncomfortable with the food, and really what they wanted was the toy. So I was able to sort of divert the positivity into, let's just go to McDonald's and for $2, we'll just buy their, action figure toy. And then I was able to sort of switch it from, it's your birthday, let's have Dunkin' Donuts, to it's your birthday, let's go do something and celebrate in a different way. That's a grandparent challenge too. I know often with my in-laws, when my kids were little, if they were visiting, the celebration was always food-based, and the foods that they would choose wouldn't always be the ones that I would want my kids to ingest, especially as I was starting to get more knowledgeable. The other big thing is for you to identify, and this is again where your adrenals may play, the difference between appetite and hunger, okay? So many of us use this phrase, I'm hungry, but hunger is hunger. I mean, and hunger can be satiated by any food item. So when my son says to me, I'm hungry, and I say, great, let's get you an apple, let's get you carrots, let's get you something like that. And he says, no, I want saltines or something. That's not hunger. That's appetite. That's a craving for something specific. Hunger is starving kids in Africa who would be grateful for anything you put on their plate to solve the hunger. So you need to identify what the different sensation is for you, because hunger is something you can satiate with anything, and you can choose healthy things. So often when I feel hungry and I feel my blood sugar drop, I have learned that if my go-to meal, which it used to be, was a slice of pizza, I would spike really fast, but then I would crash really fast. So now I always have almonds and things like that on hand, because when I do feel hungry, I just need something in my body, but I know that I have to choose something that's better for me to put in my body, if that makes sense. So hopefully this helps you. Definitely take note of what kind of eater you are and see if you can figure that out through your journaling. Take care.